Check, check. 1, 2. Hopefully I could be heard. I haven't done one of these in a while. Definitely has been a while. Been busy, haven't really had the time. Hopefully everyone's doing all right. I wonder where I'm able to see. Hey, peace. Peace, brother Yazid. Hopefully you can hear me, and hopefully I sound clear. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me and if I sound clear. All right, cool. Peace to everyone. Just vibing out at the lake, enjoying the waters. Just looking at this city across the lake. Peace, brother Tehran, brother Kenneth. Peace. So, purpose for doing this live, I put out dropped a post on the YouTube a few hours ago. If anyone hasn't had a chance to take a look at it yet, please go ahead and do so. But it was pretty much explaining or giving you the resource for the exact part of the IRS manual that speaks about the 1099, both the MISC, which is short for the miscellaneous, and you have the 1099 NEC. And this is very crucial for people who have trusts in place and operating. Now, if you have everything, which you should, operating through your trust, meaning financially, your all your transactions is coming through your trust, or what they'll say in the corporate realm, through your business, through your business debit card or your business credit card. So you pretty much do your trade in your business through. Pretty much everything you do in your life now is part of your trade or your business, because at the end of the day, you are the greatest asset to your business or to your trust. Tribe up, 777, Islam. Right? So you are your greatest asset to your trust. So if you ever hear someone talking about how do you fund your trust has already been funded with its greatest asset, which is you. Because without you, nothing else is going to come into that trust. You're the asset that's going to make it happen. So you have to include yourself in the equation when it comes to asset portfolio. You are the greatest asset in your own portfolio, because without you, nothing happens. Right? You are the God body. Peace from Tennessee. I appreciate that. Not too far from home, Natchez, Mississippi. Right? So You are your greatest asset to your trust. So you fund your trust with your presence. Okay? So with that being said, that means that everything that attributes to maintaining you is is considered a business expense or a trading expense. This is how the IRS speaks about it. They call it a trade or business. Um, like I was saying, if you look at the post I dropped earlier, it brings you to that IRS manual reference, dealing with that, and then it shows, it breaks down operating through your trade or business, right? So everything that you're paying out through your business or your trust account or your trust debit card or your trust credit card or whichever word you want to use in this conversation. Those two words are interchangeable because honestly, that's how they operate. A lot of people say it's a business trust, but your trust is everything. It's your business. You can have LLCs underneath your trust. You can have an S corp underneath your trust. Whatever creativity your mind allows you to manifest within that lodging system, it's on you. But as long as it's all coming up underneath a trust, right? So, as far as dealing with your business debit, right? Or your business trust debit card. I'll just use that term from now on. Your business trust debit card or credit card, all those expenses that are used to maintain you. What do I mean by that? You buy toilet paper to maintain your hygiene when you need to use the bathroom. You're buying hopefully non-fluoride toothpaste, right? Or you're buying the ingredients you need to make your own toothpaste to maintain your hygiene with your mouth. You're buying your herbs or your minerals that you need to maintain your body. You're buying groceries and food for the house that you need to maintain to maintain sustenance and energy for your temple. Things like that. You need to buy clothing because you need to maintain a good form and appearance and presentation for your asset when you're going to present yourself amongst um, other potential business trust owners. So it's all revolving around your life. You're using your business trust bank card to purchase the gas you need to fill up your vehicle so you can be able to travel back and forth to and fro to go handle your business. Or you're using that business trust bank card to maintain your vehicle. You're using that trust card to pay for, God forbid, a doctor visit or maybe a checkup. You're paying out of pocket. Use the trust account. Everything, your whole life is your business because you are your greatest asset. So when you read that, um, post that I dropped earlier, you'll see it explains trade or business and how any payments that you make over $10 is reportable. And when it says reportable, meaning that it's a business write-off. So we all need to understand that this is a game of Monopoly. And this shit really is, every time the new year starts, you can collect your 200 that go to go do what you need to do to go around that board once again. That's all it is. So, and the only reason I can speak upon it now is because I've been able to experiment and I've had success. So now I can speak on it. Other than that, I don't speak on things until I can solidly say, all right, this is what it is. So really wanted to just come on and share that with the family. You know, it's a very crucial thing. Um, and also too, you know, I wanted to add to the mix. Let me see. Yep, remedy indeed. I just wanted to add to the mix that I do have a Patreon page that's established now, um, to where um, I'm going to start doing these classes. Because there's just certain things I'm not just going to put out on YouTube, right? But I'm putting this particular post out on YouTube just to bring it to everyone's awareness. I haven't, like I said, I haven't done a live in a long time, so I feel like it's good timing. So with that being said, once you figure out how to get all your stuff straight, then financially, you should always be at a surplus because you're able to write off, if not all or most of those expenses, those reasonable, right? They have to be reasonable expenses, okay? Reasonable expenses over $10. When I say reasonable, meaning things that actually apply or actually have an effect in your life. Like for real. In the everyday commercial transaction of the city life. Like, hey, I need shoes. Hey, I need to go grab a belt. Hey, I need a new suit. Hey, I need to go grab baby diapers. Because if your baby's not good, then you're not good mentally, right? So therefore, if your family is not taken care of, you're not in the right state of mind as the greatest asset of your trust to be able to properly function and bring in income, or what you will call wages or profits or livelihood, right? Back into the family estate. So it all matters. It's all part of dealing with you, then it's part of the business or the trade. So therefore, it's a write-off. So knowing this knowledge now, you can do what you need to do throughout the year, and you can write those expenses off and get it back. On top of you already knowing that federal taxes, and those are for those who are working, who are still working 9 to 5s, like myself. I'm still working 9 to 5. But I have my own trust on the side / business. So I'm building on my own things, you know. This is chess, not checkers. So, oh Lord, what was the last thing I just said? Yeah, for those who are still working a 9 to 5, federal taxes are voluntary. They are voluntary. You don't have to pay them. You don't have to allow them to take that nice chunk of change out of your out of your check. It's not a tax, it's a gift. Stop gifting the federal government your ends. Stop gifting them your energy. They don't need it. They take it and they send it out to every other country, except for the one that bears the people who need it primarily first, which is the people who are here in America. So I think it only makes sense that we should start holding on to that energy. So federal taxes is voluntary. If you get paid through direct deposit, you can go online, go right to your pay portal, whichever one you use. The only ones I'm really familiar with is ADP, and UltiPro. Outside of that, If you get paid direct deposit, you can go online, log into your pay portal, and you can just make that adjustment right then and there, dealing with your W-4 online. You don't got to talk to nobody. And then I believe it takes about 1 or 2 pay periods for the change to be reflected, to which now all that money that you was initially gifting to the federal government now gets to stay in your pocket. You get to bring that back home to save and build up what you trying to do for your trust and your beneficiaries. This is how the real game goes. This is how the real game goes. Um, and so, as you can tell, this is very, very raw information. So, Spirit just told me to speak on it. So, boom, I just went live. Here we are. So I really didn't have anything planned. So it's really just coming out of me at this point. Um, but I just want to stress that, you know, you can always be at a surplus. Your cell phone bill should be in your should be in the name of your trust. If you have Wi-Fi or internet, that should be in the name of your trust. If you have cable service or online service, you know, anything, YouTube Premium, whatever subscriptions you're paying for, that is part of the the daily maintenance of your mental, and making sure that you're straight to be able to go out and do what you need to do to bring in those ends back into the trust, to build wealth for the trust. Then you need to man, I'm setting shit off over here, but I tell you, then you need to, man, trying to throw me off on the fuck I'm talking about. So then give me a second, let it come back to me. It just threw me off. Right. So the federal taxes is voluntary. You don't have to pay that. And if you don't do direct deposit, then you just go down to the HR office and you deal with them. And you deal with them as far as pretty much you deal with them. It's the best way I can put this. Well, I would say once you preserve your gifting of those federal taxes back into your estate, that's a better situation for you. That's more finance for yourself that you didn't just gift out to foreigners who aren't reciprocating the energy back into you. That's why we're all feeling so drained. That's what taxes do. They drain you of your energy. They're like, taxes are like mosquitoes. All right, they just keep on coming. They just keep on adding. They just keep on building upon, you know, state tax, federal tax, sale tax, whatever tax. It's all there to just compound stress, compound interest to stress on self. All right, so you got to put these certain, you got to do these rituals. You got to do these rituals. You got to do these rituals to put these spells in place for yourself. You got to do it. Otherwise, you're going to allow demons to be able to infiltrate and make your life very difficult to function and operate on. Hold on. Oh. I tell you, these mobile scooters is interesting when they're laying around. I tell you, man, you start talking, and it send out all types of distractions. It's crazy the timing of shit. Anyway, give me a second. It's one of those guys that be retrieving the scooters. You know how people leave them all types of places. So I guess he comes in. His job is to come and retrieve them. He was in and out, no cap. But yeah, so you can go to HR, and they'll have a physical form that you'll be able to fill out the information physically, the same information that you would do if you were doing it online, which is essentially it's two boxes, and the boxes is basically one saying that all of the income that you make for this year um, is tax exempt, and then the other one says that everything that you do make for this year is not tax exempt, which is able to be withhold. So you check either box. Like I said, it's voluntary. So check the box that says no. I will not be allowing you to withhold any taxes on these ends for this year or the upcoming year. So you check that box. Um, Either you do it online or you're speaking with HR. They give you that form, you fill it out, give it back to them. They handle it for you. Um, should see the change reflected within 2 to 3 pay periods. That's normally the process. I've done it myself, of course. Enough now that me just going into a job, I just do it from the beginning, so I don't even have to deal with that. And then as far as the Social Security taxes, if you're able to get into a job where you don't um, have to show a Social Security number, then that would normally be the best bet. Otherwise, if you did give the job a Social Security number, then this is one route that I'm still working on, which is filling out that SS 521 form, which is pretty much the revocation of the Social Security altogether. And I know a lot of people are afraid to do that. Um, I'm not, so I'm doing it. Once again, I'll end up being an example for other people to see and observe. Um, but I'm doing it because, let's be honest, y'all, the country's in debt and bankrupt. There ain't no Social Security. That joint is gone. It's gone. And whatever you think is going to be there for you in retirement is not going to be there. And that's just the honest truth. So your best bet is to establish your trust, get a universal index life insurance policy, and use your trust um, as the policy owner, okay, and the beneficiary, and you will be the policy holder in your name as the policy holder. And then from there, you establish how much money you want deposited into this universal index life insurance policy, cash value, right? So you have cash value and death value, meaning that you can be storing, let's say you want to put $300 a month premium. Once again, you have your trust account, your business trust account, as the account that's you utilize to make these automatic withdrawals, because these are also write-offs. Um, so if your premium set at 300, you allow it to be automatically withdrawn from that business trust account every month. Now you know when that $300 is going in there. Okay, and also too, based on the type of policy you have. Let's say for starters off, you may have like a death I should say a death value of about 300,000, right? So if anything happens to you, your family gets $300,000. All right. The beautiful part is when you do universal um, uh, uh, universal index life insurance policy with cash value, then that premium that you're putting in, you're able to build that, and it's able to build interest. And the beautiful part about life insurance is that the interest rates are a lot higher. For example, my interest rate is 9% APY, right? So that means that my money's sitting there and it's building up every month at 9%. Okay. Um, On top of that, I still have the death value, right? Like I said before, example at 300,000. So if anything happens to me today, my children would get $300,000, right? So the main thing of being able to secure yourself in the future for any health issues and things like that is you have that essentially your own bank, which is the universal, which is the life insurance policy. You let that stack. So you keep on making your premiums. You let that stack in, and you have to give it at least 3 to 5 years so it can build. So you can get to the point now. If you need to, if you need to pull money out of your own, if you need to pull money out of your own policy, you can pull out the cash value, which has been sitting there multiplying and compounding based on the interest rates you have for it, right? And another beautiful part about the life insurance policy is that it's not connected, or it's not connected to the market in the sense of if the market crashes and everyone who's operating through these banks like normal, putting all their money in these banks, they're going to be screwed. But with your life insurance policy, you'll still be able to cash out the value that you have, and it won't be affected by the market crash. It's protected. All right. So understanding if you're letting that stack and build, if emergencies happen and you need to pull out some funds, um, if you don't have, good business credit going on for you, or you just choose to want to do it that way, then you can essentially pull out the cash value of whatever you have within that policy to do what you need to do. So it's important to make sure you put a decent premium amount on there so you can make sure you're hitting good numbers, right? And then whatever extras you have, now this is me just giving you my own perspective. Whatever extra money you have, everyone should have a Credit Karma account. Download the Credit Karma app on your phone, all right? And every paycheck you get, you should minimum drop 50 beans into your Credit Karma um, account every paycheck, because for the Credit Karma, you get to build up your APY, which is your um, annual percentage for the year. As far as the interest goes, it's at 5.1, which is excellent because most banks have it at a rate of 0.1%. I could tell you right now, I have BECU, and BECU does that at 2.5% interest on the money that's sitting there in the account. So, like I said, it's kind of pointless to just let your ends just sit in the bank. You should have everything transferring through um, your bank, your business trust bank account. Everything should be funneling through that and then going out to those special places you need them to go, like a Credit Karma, or if you have a Treasury Direct account, you know what I'm saying? Then that should be going to your Treasury Direct account. I'm just telling you how you should be moving. Wherever your money is sitting at, it should be building interest upon itself. And if you're just dealing with these banks, you're barely going to be able to make it over 1%, 2 if you're lucky. Like I said, I seen BCU, they do it at 2.5%, which is cool, but I have my Credit Karma account that does it at 5.1%. And yes, the Credit Karma account is an outside account that I can access easily whenever I need to. I can even get a card for it and, unlock the card so I can be able to utilize it. But like I said, the best part about the Credit Karma is that it has the savings, it tell you your credit score so you can work on your credit score, and it allows you to see how much interest your money is compounding and building, right? It's doing the same thing that your life insurance policy is doing, but just at a greater clip. And you need to let that policy build up for about 3 to 5 years before you can really start utilizing it to what you need to utilize it for, whatever those purposes may be. But you don't need to go and ask someone's permission to go and grab your cash and do what you need to do. So this is what made me comfortable to fill out that SS 521 form and send that joint out to the Social Security. So we'll see where it goes with that. But what my understanding is, doing that should be able to remove all of the excess state tax and Social Security stuff you got going on. Because of course, primarily if you're going into a job, you want to go in with your passport as identification, not your driver's license or state ID. But let's say you're doing a driving job in which you need to have that driver's license. Then you should lead with your passport and then have that license as secondary if you needed to transact, commerce on the roads for your particular job when you're operating. We got to be able to operate in a way where we can be flexible. It's not about limiting ourselves. There's literally remedies in everything we do. So we just need to be able to do what we do. Once we figure out the remedies, move on those remedies. Like I said, do those rituals to establish those protective spells in place so you can start proceeding forward. Because every step you take forward in propelling yourself into the self that you see yourself being, that spell gets shattered, or pieces of that family curse gets shattered more and more and more and more, till there's no residue of that left. So really just got to be vigilant and keep pushing forward. That's really all it is. Also too, this is an open conversation. I'm very much open to questions or thoughts. Let me see here. The Privacy Act of 1974. Yeah, exactly. Dealing with the trust. But yeah, that's essentially what I wanted to share. Just I've been able to move. As bad as this economy is looking, it's not looking grim for us who are on this side of the government. Those of us who are on the pyramid side of the government, we're good. But this is how we need to operate now. You just got to have your trust in place, and then you just got to be able to see and figure how you can utilize your trade in your business. Whether you have a trade, whether you actually have a product or not, or you don't have a business per se. Let's just say all you actually do is you just have a 9 to 5. That's okay. Whether you get permission or not from any IRS agent or from any job you're working at, you're moving as a private contractor. The moment you're getting paid, or payment from that entity is going into your trust account, your business trust account. You are moving as a private contractor. Why do I say that? Because at the end of the year, because you haven't been paying federal taxes because you're not a U.S. citizen, at the end of the year, you're going to get your business write-offs because you have been operating through your business and your trade, your trust, your business trust account. So there's nothing personal being utilized to transact commerce. You're doing all of that um, through your business trust. Therefore, you can collect and get these write-offs, which means get those energies back. So you can now be at a surplus, which means you're in a better position now the next year coming around to do it again and do it bigger. All right, this is the game. And honestly, this is what I'm saying. When you move like that, it don't even matter whether you're using the WA bin or not. The WA bin or not. Like I said, the WA bin is for when you're legally operating as a private contractor um, through the processes of a company. So, for example, I used to be a freelance. I'm an audio visual technician, but there was a point in time when I do a lot of freelance work. So, as a freelancer, I'm not working for the um, company per se. I'm not working for the company. I'm just being a extra hired hand um, by an entity that's paying me, but I'm not on the employee um, pay list. So from there, I use the WA bin to make sure I wasn't being taxed, which, to make sure I received all of my ends and my energies back. Um, so that's where it applies. But like, if you're in a 9 to 5 and you're not actually utilizing your own resources, like if it's a moving company and the job lets you use your own truck to do what you need to do, or use your own truck to come in help with a move or something like that, then that's when you can do the WA bin. Uh, but outside of that, either way you look at it, this is how you should be operating. When you get paid from this entity, from your job or whatever, those funds should be going right into your trust account. Should not be going into no personal account. Should be going right into your trust account. Okay? Right into the trust account. And then from there, whatever you need to maintain or get through the day, um, it should be through your um, business trust credit card or business trust debit card, whichever one have you. But like I said, outside of the life insurance policy, you should get Credit Karma. Everybody should have Credit Karma. Download that joint on your phone. Um, and like I said, you should minimally throw 50 beans on top of, whatever premiums you're putting for your life insurance. You should throw at least 50 Federal Reserve notes towards um, your Credit Karma, just so you're building some extra ends on the side and you're letting your money sit there. I mean, shoot, there might be some people who just say, I don't want to deal with the banks altogether, and I'm just going to um, process it through my Credit Karma. Only thing I'd say to that is I am uncertain if you can open a trust account on the Credit Karma. Otherwise, I believe you have to use your. I believe I have to use my social for that. And that's another thing. You know, once you put your social properly within your trust, you can use it. It's yours. It's underneath an estate. It has an EIN number for the estate, but I still function and operate with the social because I'm still working this job. Or there's other things or transactions that I need to make. So I just do it from there. You know, just do it from there, and then allow. Man, this is like the third Seattle PD that came through here. Guess they want us to get out of here, or looks like he checking something. That's some strange stuff, boy. I guess he's doing security work. They trying tonight, boy. I got them set off. I don't even. I hope y'all can understand what's going on right now. I'm setting shit off over here because I'm talking about this. All types of fucking weird shit, like 3 or 4. And I come here all the time to just relax and talk and all the time like that. Never have I seen so many different police vehicles just coming through for no reason, just coming through and just chilling right by me, like with the lights on. Never come through here. Only when I'm chilling there. But yeah, so lock everything in through that trust because your passport helps you maintain your privacy as a true American citizen. Okay, it helps maintain your privacy as that. So make sure you leave with your passport. And for those who don't have your passports yet, you always want to make sure that you read that. I put enough videos out about the passport application and how to fill it out, and what are the requirements when filling it out. One as a U.S. citizen and one as a non-citizen national. All right, so make sure you have your explanatory statement. Make sure. And if you are a member of Suunel University, you can always email me to inquire about a explanatory statement or a consul missionary verification letter. I'll be more than happy to help you with that. I just need some reciprocation on the end so I can, 1, get the affidavit done, and then 2, I can get it stamped, sealed, verified, and then mailed out to you so you can send that along with your passport application filled out properly as a non-citizen national. All right, it should be a little bit more quiet. It's not pretty though. It ain't pretty though. Anyway. All right. Back. Yeah. So the importance of having your trust and being able to operate this commercial realm properly. Right. So see if anybody got any questions. Hey, what's good? Philip. I've been well, man. Thank you for asking. Tobias says I'm clipping. Tobias said the sound is clipping. Tobias said the sound is clipping. Okay. Yep, DB is a good remedy, right? DBA indeed. DBA indeed. Like I said, it's just making sure you put in protections at your gate, right? Your estate is your is your world. That's what, and everything revolves around you. That's your estate. And so you gotta have some guard dogs or some guard lions or some guard dragons, at the gate. And that is your trust. And then whatever other vehicles you choose to put underneath that trust to be able to make sure you have a very well built wall of protection that's surrounding you and all of your transactions. And like I said, it's hard to track you personally if everything you're transactionally doing is coming through an entity. It's not coming from you as a sentient being, it's coming through your person. The power of the 2 cent stamp. For sure. There's a book you can all download. It's on the Library of Congress. It's called the Stamp Duties Act. And what that book entails is the various different type of stamps and essentially how much stamps worth you're supposed to be putting on these documents. So that, for example, if I have to send an affidavit into court, then I'm supposed to put a 10 cent stamp on that affidavit. Because for one, what it does is it activates me as a postmaster, which the postmaster is a very real office when you're dealing with documentation. So yeah, the Stamp Duties Act. But yes, the 2 cent stamp is powerful. But the reason why I bring up the Stamp Duties Act book is because there's different ranges of value for different documents. So you'll be surprised once you start reading it, like how much Like I'm supposed to put 2 cents on a birth certificate, or I'm supposed to, like I said, I'm supposed to put 10 cents on an affidavit going into court, or I'm supposed to put, uh, uh, and I think the highest it goes is $20, like a $20 stamp. I got to put a $20 stamp on this security, so it lets you know, or I got to put this number stamp on this bill of exchange. All that's in that book. So I would advise everyone to get that book. It's called the Stamp Duties Act, and you can find that. Um, Pretty sure if you type it on Google, something will come up, but I made sure to go and grab that from grab the official PDF copy from the Library of Congress. Irrefutable. That's how I like to roll. Okay, Tobias Brown just asked, and peace, brother Tobias. Thank you for your question. I thank everybody for your questions. I'm just trying to scroll through to make sure I'm not missing nobody. So just please bear with me. I do want to try to answer everyone's questions. And yes, it would be nice if I got a couple of likes. I would appreciate that. That'll help this video get out into the algorithm, and more people will be made aware. As y'all can see, it's me just sitting here talking about this is causing a ruckus over here. They don't know what to do with themselves right now. So please support this. Let this get into the algorithm so we can really start effing shit up. You know what I'm saying? Because the more of us that are free, the more freedom I have, the more freedom you have, the more freedom the next person have. But if there's only a small percentage of us that are free, then experiencing the type of freedom we want to experience is just, I'm not saying it's going to be impossible, but it's just going to be that much more of a pain in the ass to get it done. Many hands make lighter work. So I'm trying to alleviate everyone's stress by showing them different ways of being able to move, being indigenous here or not. But it's very advantageous if you are indigenous here and you know that you should be publicly classified as an American Indian. We clearly know we are Moors, but this is the type of stuff that benefits everyone. So just keep it like that. It's universal. So Brother Tobias asked, would you recommend getting name change decree through the court? Yes, I would recommend that you get your name change decree through the court. And I would also recommend that you either bring an affidavit as your explanatory statement to go along with the question of when it asks what's the reason for the name change. You want to make sure that first you want to declare that the purpose is for one, religious. Why? Because when you say it's religious, then it automatically falls underneath, meaning your process of what you're doing now falls automatically underneath the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, and specifically the American Indian Religious Freedom Restoration Act, which now will put you underneath Article 3 court of the Constitution. Right? The Article 3 court of the Constitution is activated through religion. It's not an actual building or a judge you go to. It's Article 3 is a role. It's a role. It's not a actual, thing or place or a judge. A judge has to. Article 3 is what they do. It's not who they are. So Article 3 judge will become that based on if that judge is dealing with a case that's involving religion, right? So, because religion in the public realm is what's considered inalienable. It's inalienable. So you're dealing with your inalienable rights when it comes to the First Amendment. So make sure you activate your First Amendment when doing that name change decree in the court. And also, too, I would solidify that by adding, I believe it's public law. Ugh, man, it's been so long. Pretty much the public law dealing with, I declare myself to be a national but not a citizen of the United States. I believe it's public law 92-304. I might be wrong. I wish I had my book with me right now. I might be wrong. Um, Damn, I might be wrong. But if anyone has my book, please look my book up and verify. And also, too, you can check out that the video I did maybe about like a year and a half ago, dealing with how to apply for the passport as a national. So you can get that from there as well. But yeah, bro, go ahead and do your name change. Make sure you have your explanatory statement. You don't got to be nothing long, short little one pager. Just explains what's your reasons, or unless there's enough space on the actual actual petition itself, to where you can just write the explanation, religious reasons. Um, I declare to be a national but not a citizen of the United States, um, and go back to the ancient ways of my uh, Moorish ancestors, indigenous to the Americas. Something like that. And then I would just add a finishing touch of um, Exodus 20:12, King James Version Bible, which says, "Honor thy mother and thy father, that thy days on the earth land may be long and plentiful, which the Lord thy God hath given thee." So utilize that, and that's how you handcuff them, right? All through the First Amendment. So that would be my recommendation, because that's what I did, and that's what I urge every other person who I've helped go through the name change process to do, to get that on record, right? You got to declare who you are and declare who you are not on the record. So yes, go through the courts. Don't let nobody tell you any different. Don't let anybody tell you any different, brother Tobias. Go ahead and get that done playing. Oh, and just know, if they be bugging with the court fees, just know that you can ask the clerk for a you can ask the clerk for a court fee waiver form. Okay, you can ask them for a court fee waiver, but you have to ask them in person, and you have to know to ask for it. They're not going to hint you to request that. Okay, and so you fill that out and you go through that process, and then you can have the court fees waived and have your stuff filed without you having to dispense any of your energies to do that. Once again, just different ways you can operate, and every court has a court fee waiver, mandatory. Okay, because it's unconstitutional to stop your right to access the courts based on the fact that you don't have Federal Reserve notes. Just the FYI. I'm very truthful, y'all. I'm very transparent. I don't talk about stuff unless I've done it. And when I've done it, I'm very transparent. I don't cap. I don't try to lead you or mislead you or try to trick you or game you or try to give you bits and pieces so you can keep coming back asking for more. I give you the whole plate with the quinoa, the bison or the venison, the guacamole, some plantains, some okra. I give it all to you. Right? All right. See, hopefully that answered your question, brother Tobias. Let's move on. Let's see here. And thank you too for everyone else being helpful, Brother Tobias. That's what I'm talking about. All right, Tribe Up. I'm down for that. Um, Let me know when you be interested. I'm down. I'm definitely down for that. Um, Let me know. I plan on heading back out to the land to continue building sometime in August. So just let me know your timelines, and we can definitely speak and get that going. Yeah, thank you, brother Philip. It's the Immigration National Act 308. Yes, sir. Thank you. Aloha, Juan Carlos. Aloha. Hey, I got 13 likes. Brother Phil was like, hey, man, stop talking till you get 13 likes. I got my 13 likes. I appreciate everybody. Oh, wait, no. How many likes do I have? I don't even see how many likes I have. I see there's 13 people in here. Yeah, man, like it up. Damn, I gotta like my own shit. Let me see if I can like my own shit. I'll like my shit first. All right, I can't ask y'all to like it if I don't like it. Okay, I can't like it. Y'all lucky. I'd like it if I could. That's facts. A lot of them probably don't want me to know that they're actually sitting here listening to what I'm saying off some great weird pride stuff. That's probably it. That's why they're not liking. That could definitely be it. But either way, I never let it stop me because at the end of the day, I deal with people. I deal with people, not AI robots or for real. Okay. Well, thank y'all. I can't see how many people are liking. So yeah, it might be really only like a few of us real people, and the rest of them are just like NPCs. It might be that too. That's a fact. That's a fact. You know how AI do. There no real watching. Yeah, it is what it is. Well, if you liked, I appreciate you. All right, so that's a bias with another question. When doing marking example on the W-4 form, line 7, is an explanatory statement necessary to send to the IRS and HR? No, my friend. An explanatory statement is not necessary. Because remember, at the end of all of that, when you sign that W-4 document, you're signing it under penalty of perjury, which is once again why it's so important for you to make sure your status has been corrected and adjusted before you go in and do things like this. Like, you better make sure your information, your public information, is reflecting the fact that you are an American Indian, that you're white, you know, whether you have the name change in place at the time or not, you should at least have that social security information updated to reflect that you are an American Indian. Um, and then also too, for question 18, you reflect that you are the um, owner. You know, for 18, you check other, and then you either write in you're the owner, or you can write in you're the beneficiary, or um, you can write you're the grantee. But you want to make sure that information is updated in the system before you start doing what we're talking about now. That's first things first. So yeah, once once you sign that, that W-4 is an affidavit in itself. So you don't need any extra thing to go along with that, because you're already signing it under penalty of perjury, and you're not lying, because you are who you say you are, publicly and privately. So therefore, no weapon can be formed against you that will prosper. You feel me? You feel me? All right, so Philip asks, what obligation do you have to the foreign corporation if you don't work for government? None. We don't have a um obligation to the foreign corporation. The foreign corporation has a obligation to us via the treaty, because it is through our treaty of peace and friendship through 1786 that allows the United States to be able to transact commerce here. Right? It's the Treaty of 1786. Um, Also attached to that would be the letter um, of George Washington to Sultan Sidi Muhammad, um, December of 1789, right, from New York, writing from New York to Morocco. So those two documents is pretty much the nail in the coffin that lays out from a core evidence standpoint, or from an exhibit standpoint, that the United States the United States of America is able to operate here for commercial purposes. So as far as we're allowed to operate commercially, being that we're allowing them to utilize our land, um, then the obligation is once again for them to make sure we're able to do what we need to do when we are classified as who we are. And so their job is to aid us in that, or to get the hell up out the way. So they do honor treaties, but you have to be in your proper person. And for real, there's been a remedy put in place for everything, everything, everything. So our obligation is to maintain the peace and remain friendly, and then they they aid us as we do what we need to do commercially to maintain and sustain ourselves. The SF-181 form is for government employees only. So if you had a government job, then you would need to fill out the SF-181 form. But outside of that, if you don't have a government job form, then filling out that form is not necessary. You would only need to fill out the SS5 form. That's the Social Security form, to bias, not the SS4 form. And like I said, man, show love. Stop by the please stop by the Patreon page. And even if you're not willing to become a patron, you can still join as a free member, right? I do still post things, on a general basis that I still wouldn't necessarily put out into other platforms like that. So it's still vital bits of information, things you can use as exhibits or bits of evidence. So yeah, still come through on the Patreon page. Um, you can subscribe as a paid member, or you can become a free member. All right, just come through and support. If you value the information, then please come through and have a seat at the table. Have a seat at the Suunel University table where we break bread. No problem, Tobias. If I can, I will share this one last thing, and then I will take my leave for the evening. Or I should say, take my leave for the morning. Once you have your trust established, oh, and by the way, everyone should have a foreign trust. You can have domestic trust, which is meaning trusts that have EIN numbers that don't start with 98. You can have domestic trusts, but only if they're underneath the umbrella of a foreign trust. You gotta have a foreign trust first. It's paramount. It has to be something that's outside the control or jurisdiction of the United States of America. All right, so that's number one, important. But as far as the traveling issue goes, when you have your trust established, what you can do is you can go on the FMCSA website, which is the Federal Motor Vehicle something Safety Act. Okay, and you can apply for a DOT number. The DOT number is free, just like an EIN number, right? Now, here's the real kicker to understanding that. Most people, when they hear about a DOT number, they're just thinking about commerce, like a truck driver or somebody who's transporting weight or transporting materials or whatever it may be for commerce. But there's an other side to the DOT number that a lot of people aren't aware of. So I'm pretty sure I'm the first to be sharing this right now. If I'm not, I'm pretty shocked. But we'll go like this. With the DOT number, when you apply for your DOT number, you can apply for it as non-commercial, non-business only. You heard what I'm saying? Because when we're traveling, it's all dealing with what, right? Commerce, and the driving, and what we're saying is we're traveling. We're not doing anything for commercial purposes. Well, I'm telling you, you can get a DOT number in which you apply for it underneath those pretenses of non-commercial, non-business only. From that standpoint now, since you're not operating for commercial purposes, it's private. So now the certain stipulations of you requiring a license to be able to move about that. You see where I'm going with that? So now instead of needing a license or some type of identification card from the United States, now you can get one from your own tribal government. But I'm jumping the gun. So another aspect, I'll get back to that in a second, but another aspect you can do when you're filling out for the DOT is it asks you, how are you applying? Is this a business? Is this a individual? Is this a, I forgot the other options, but you select the one that says governmental unit. And then from there, it gives you the options. Well, what type of governmental unit? You got your city, local, state, federal, and tribal. Ding, 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 ding. Hit the tribal box. Tribal government. Tribal government operating as non-business, non-commercial only. So now, once you process and finish getting your DOT number, then they're going to send you, well, first there might be an agent from the FMSCA to call you to essentially audit you or question you, have you ask some questions. The questions are going to be redundant. Really, they're just going to try to make you mess up or try to get you to admit that is, or verify for sure if this is for non-commercial, non-business purposes only, right? So then they'll ask you like redundant questions like, hey, so do you plan on transporting passengers? Yeah, these would be tribal members or people who we're carrying back and forth to and fro places. Will you be receiving compensation for transporting them? No. So are they paying you to transport them? No. Just things like that. And then once you get through the conversation, then they'll send you the official letter in the mail with the DOT number. And that the DOT number will represent the entity name which you put there, which would be your trust, right? So now you have a DOT number for your entity. So now whatever cars or vehicles you have, right, in order to be able to bear that DOT number, you have to go back and resend the tabs on the plates. You have to give back the tabs, the registration, the registration for the tabs. You have to give those back. Why? Because you can only have one or the other. If you're going to utilize the DOT, then you have to get rid of the tabs. Oh, so I don't have to deal with the state. Yes. So get the DOT number, and then, like I said, make sure your trust is identified as a tribal government that's operating for non-business, non-commercial purposes only. And this is how. And then once you follow the instructions as far as how to place that number on your vehicle to where it should be located, then we can all be able to operate how we need to operate with no problems. But I will get into deeper details on that subject at a later date. I am starting to feel a little tired, so I'm about to take my ass out of here and go get some rest. I appreciate y'all for stopping by. I hope I was able to answer as many people's questions as I could. And I hope y'all checked out this chat, because the guys was dropping some jewels in here as I was talking, which is backing up and affirming what I'm saying. So hope everyone's paying attention. Hope everyone can, or hopefully when you look at this over again, you'll be able to see the chats and all that. So appreciate y'all for coming out. Once again, I see y'all on the Patreon, whether you free or paying, just get on there so you can get in tune with the vibe and what we're talking about over there. Gratitude, appreciate all y'all. Y'all be blessed, be safe, and get some good rest. And let's keep pushing forward for freedom. All right, family.